Kia ora, Year 9. This is the first video that I'm doing on measurement, which is our new topic. And in this video, I'm going to look at how we can convert between different units of measurement. For some of you, this is going to be revision, but we need to make sure that for absolutely everyone, that these skills feel really, really fluent. Okay, and they're all based on powers of 10, and they tie into the work that we did in our number topic. So the study of measurement is an important branch of maths and science, and it's called metrology. And we're going to have a look during this topic at what sort of work people who study metrology are doing at the moment. There's some really interesting stuff. But in this video, it's not going to be that interesting. It's going to be how we go from big units to small units. And if I asked you about prefixes in our metric system, I'm pretty sure that most of you would recognize these ones. So we use some of them all the time over and over: milli, centi, and kilo. And we're lucky because the way that our system works is that as soon as you see one of those prefixes, it means the same no matter what unit we're working with. So we have these basic units: meter, gram, and litre. They're just some of them. And then we stick one of these prefixes with them if we want to change it. Okay, so for example, we know that there are 100 centimetres in 1 metre. So 1 centimetre is equal to 1/100th of a metre. Okay, so whenever you see centi, it means 1/100th of the basic unit. We know that there are 1,000 millimetres in 1 metre. So if we've got 1 millimetre, that means it's 1,000th of a metre. So on this slide, I've just put some of the most common ones. Now, the huge benefit of the system is it doesn't matter if we're talking about length or weight or liquid volume. It all works in the same way. So we have the prefix and then the basic unit. The prefix M and the basic unit G. The prefix M for milli and the basic unit litre. So what we're going to do now is we're going to look at how to convert. But first I want to show you some prefixes that we don't use very much that you might want to go and look up and see. So do you know any of these ones? A iota, a zeta, an exa, an atto, and a zepto. So how would we use those? Well, we could figure out what is a yotagram. How much does that weigh? What is an exameter? And so on. Okay, so there are lots of prefixes that are out there that have a very, very specialized use, often in science. So where I'm going to start from is how we do these conversions. And I'm going to start with a whole bunch where we're going from the big units to a smaller unit, because these are the easiest ones. So if we think about converting from meters to centimeters, we know that 1 meter has got 100 centimeters. So when I'm looking at converting, I always look at where I'm going to, and I ask, how would I get from 1 meter to centimeters? Well, I would go 1 times 100. And that's what we're going to do with all of these. So I'd like you to pause the video, watch me model the first one, and then there are a bunch for you to practice. So 4,520 meters is going to equal 4,520 times 100 centimeters, which is this. Okay, so that first one will be 4,520 centimeters, 452,000 centimeters. And it's the same pattern for all of these. To go from meters to centimeters, we're going to be multiplying by 100. What about the next ones? Well, we know that milli means thousandth. So 1 meter is equal to 1,000 millimeters. So I'm going from meters to millimeters. What do I need to do? I need to multiply by 1,000. What about this last batch here? How many millimeters in 1 centimeter? So I've got 1 centimeter, and 1 centimeter is equal to 10 millimeters. So to go from centimeters to millimeters, I'm going to be timesing by 10. To go from kilometers to meters, I ask, how many meters are in 1 kilometer? There are 1,000 meters. So to go from kilometers to meters, I times by 1,000. And lastly, from kilograms to grams, same idea, 1 kilogram is equal to 1,000 grams. So I'm going to be multiplying by 1,000. Okay, so if you can just pause the video and have a go at each set, and then I'll work through them. So the first set going from meters to centimeters. So for each one, we are multiplying by 100. So it's going to be 4,000, 45,200. This one here, I'm multiplying by 100. So it's going to be 45, and then I need to times by 100. So it's 4,520 centimeters. For the next one, 4.52 meters, I'm timesing by 100, 452 centimeters. So you don't have to show your working for that, but I'm just going to do a little bit of working down the side here for some of those. So for 45.2 times 100, remember what we're doing is we're moving place value columns by 2. So 45.20 times 100 becomes 4,520. 4.52 times 100 gives me 452. Okay, here's the next batch. So for these ones, we want to be multiplying by 1,000. So that means moving over 3 place value columns. So it's going to be 4,500. Let's see. Let's put on our 3 zeros and then work out how we say that. Well, that's going to be 4,520,000 millimeters. Now, it's very old-fashioned what I've done there, putting in those commas. You guys are much more likely to have seen it written like this. And that's what I should have done. So I'm showing my old age. There you go. There's that one. 452 meters is how many millimeters? Well, I need to times by 1,000. So that one's easy. 452,000 millimeters. Hard to imagine what use it would be talking about that, but much more likely to be talking about meters, right? 45.2 meters is going to become this. I'm timesing by 1,000. So we can think of this as 45.200, and we're timesing by 1,000, so I'm moving 3 place value columns. This one here, 4.52 meters, we need to move over 3 place value columns, so 4,520 millimeters. Okay, the next ones are really easy. From centimeters to millimeters, we just have to multiply by 10. So it's going to be this. Timesing by 10, moving over 1 place value column. All right, so we moved over 1 place value column there, and we're moving over 1 place value column here. Lastly, kilometers to meters, we're timesing by 1,000, so 3 place value columns of shift. Here we're moving over 3 place value columns, and the same thing here. Now I'm doing this quickly because we've done this already in our last topic, all right? Next one's kilograms to grams, same idea. We've got 1,000 grams in 1 kilogram, so we need to times by 1,000. So 3 place value columns of shift. This one, and I should write that nicely so that we can read it, right? Put some gaps in. This one here, 452,000 grams. Here we need 3 place value columns, so 45,200 grams, and 4,520 grams for this one. Okay, so that's the first task, obviously, is the easy one where we're multiplying. Our brains work more quickly on that. But we just have to have this basic idea down that we look at where we're going to and we look at that prefix, and that will help us. So now we're going to do ones where we're going from a small unit to a big unit. So if I've got 4,520 centimetres and I want to go back to metres, well, 1 centimetre is equal to 1/100th of a metre. So now I need to divide by 100. So we're moving back 2 place value columns. So this will be 45.2 metres, right? Back to 1, 2. Back to here will give me 4.52 metres. Now back to here will give me 0.452 metres. And moving back to here, I'm going to have to put in an extra 0. So 4.52 centimetres will be 0.0452 metres. So again, we're always working with our prefixes, and we're looking at how centi and milli link to that basic unit. So now I want you to have a go at these ones. So millimetres to metres, and then millimetres to centimetres. So here we're going to be dividing by 1,000. Here we're going to be dividing by 10. So my answers here will be 4.52 metres, 0.452 metres. So dividing by 1,000, 1, 2, 3. 0.0452 metres. So 1, 2, and then a third. And here we're going to have a couple of zeros, 0.00452 metres. If you're not sure about these, you can check it by looking back and going 1, 2, 3. Do I get back to my starting point? Okay, these ones here, we get, dividing by 10, 452 centimetres, 45.2, 4.52 centimetres, and then 0.452 centimetres. This time from metres to kilometres, 1 metre is 1,000th of a kilometre. So we're dividing, again, we're dividing by 1,000. 1, 2, 3, 4.52 kilometres, 0.452, 0.0452. I think that's right. Yep. 1, 2, 3, 0.00452. Just checking. Have I got that right? Let's see. 1, 2, 3. Yes. And we need our units. Kilometres, kilometres, kilometres. I think this is the most boring video I've made you all year. I'm really sorry about this, but we just actually have to make sure we've all got this skill. Now, lastly, we're looking at grams to kilograms. So these are measures of weight, but again, all we care about is that prefix, which is kilos. So 1 gram is equal to 1,000th of a kilogram. So we're dividing by 1,000. So moving back 3 place values gives me 4.52 kilograms, 0.452 kilograms, 1, 2, 3, 0.0452 kilograms, and lastly 0.00452 kilograms. Okay, that was 14 minutes of boredom, but if you don't have the skill down, it's going to make the more interesting measurement problems tricky. So it's well worth making sure that you're really confident with your powers of 10 timesing and dividing. So I've set some Dr. Frost tasks on this, and there's also EP if you need some extra help, or you can come and ask me in class. Thanks for watching, and I will see you guys on Monday.